Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Average Shaman channel. We are going to be looking at, well, you guys know why you're here. We're looking at Season 4 and we're looking at Enhancement Shamans. Uh, so yeah, let's get started. First of all, bit of a disclaimer. It's going to be a bit of a quick one and stuff, but yeah. But we are going to look at Season 4. Is it any good so far? And do you know what, guys? Season 4 is fucking brilliant. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I do. That is my RIO so far. Yeah. So let's get cracking. Shrouded. I mean, you guys probably know this, but stats wise, at the minute, haste is fucking king. So if you are going into a 10 plus and you're not picking haste, why aren't you picking haste? You should be picking haste. It scales stupidly well for our GCDs, our flame shock ticks, and it basically makes us an unstoppable fucking single target and AoE demon. So pick haste. I know, like, you guys might be thinking, oh well, sometimes mastery is good. No, pick haste. Never pick mastery, because you should be necrolords. So mastery should not be an issue. And going into that, we're going into Covs. We're still necrolord. We are still very much necrolord. We're still going the plague, devisor, Merilith route. We're still going to the left, to the middle, to the middle, to the left, to the middle, to the left, and vice versa. You're going to go magma fist, vital accretion, focus lightning, blah 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 blah, tumbling waves, and then condensed atmosphere. Condensed atmosphere, you can go whichever one. Like, I just prefer it because it's a nice easy heal. Some people use the incarn one. It's totally up to you. And basically, keep this active on cooldown, fleshcraft on cooldown, because it gives you 120 mastery. What's not to like? That's pretty much it. If you're looking at other Covs such as Kyrian, I'm a dirty Kyrian boy, guys, and to be honest, it just doesn't hold up as well. It really doesn't, because you get the mastery from your tumbling waves procs, i.e. your, you know, like with your second Lego, so you just end up with a permanent bloodlust on you. And then when you do bloodlust, I go up to like 100 and fucking stupid amounts of haste, and I burst like a motherfucker. So Kyrian is good, yeah, but the numbers just don't add up. Like, Necroloid, Kyrian compared to damage, like, it. I hate to say it, but this season, Necroloid is fucking king. In regards to Night Fae, again, why would you run Night Fae? You just run Necroloid. Same with Enfair. When people say, oh, do you run the Enfair build anymore? It's like, no, I do not. I hardly run it last season, like, because it was very finicky and no. So Night Fair. It's pretty much. Moving on to the gear, talents, and rings. Talents wise, it's cookie cutter build, same as last season. Lashing Flames, Hot Hand, Static Charge. You can go either one of them, but I just like that because the more capacitive totems you get out, the better. Fire Nova, now and then you will get an Enhancement Shaman going, oh, but Maelstrom, fuck off with your Hailstorm, right? It's not that good. If you compare it to the damage Fire Nova blows Hailstorm out of the fucking water any day of the week. Come at me, bro. Feral Lunge, again, you can go either. I prefer Feral Lunge. I just prefer it. Sundering, I don't really like Sundering, but these two options are crap. And then Elemental Spirits. You will never really run Ascendance anymore. Ascendance is... it's just not used anymore. I mean, I'm misusing Ascendance, because for me, Ascendance feels Enhancement Shaman like, oh, fucking Windlash. But nah, it's just Elemental Spirits. Yeah. Bog standard cookie cutter build. Apart from that, your stats are pretty much haste and mastery are king, and then it goes crit and then verse. But because of this new season and the new gear that you get in, this stat section and the gear section is probably going to be the longest bit. And I want to do it justice. So, if you look at my stats, 30, 53, 20, 1. Now, you're probably thinking, how have you got all them? And you are looking at Skies of the Eternal Strife. Is this for every content? Like, it's just base because of it gives you stats, and I'm gonna go over it. Now, these aren't my baseline stats, but I will have these first runes, second runes, and fourth runes on pretty much 90% of the time. I've got a macro for it. I've got a weak aura for it. I will link the weak aura if you guys want. I will. Yeah, it's just a weak aura. Just go on wago.io and literally search for that, and it's the topmost one. If not, I will put a link onto it in the description below, so you can do that as well if you want. But use it. It's amazing. Now, we're going to look at the first rune. First of all, blah, 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 blah. The first rune, your haste is increased by 120. Remember what I said about haste? 10% of damage you take will echo again 3 seconds later. So if you take some damage, you'll take it again 3 seconds later. It's not, that one isn't much of an issue. You will hardly ever notice that. The healer will hardly ever notice that, because at the end of the day, if you're not taking damage, you're not triggering that rune damage. So move out of the way of shit, basically, which you should be doing as a DPS anyway, or use a cooldown like Astral Shift or Earth Elemental, or heal yourself. Going on the second rune, your versatility is increased by 120. You're seeing this, all the stats are increased by 120. All healing you take is reduced by 5%. Again, not that much. The third rune, your crit chance is increased by 120. You are bleeding for 1,391 damage every 2 seconds. This is noticeable. You can see here my health is ticking off. This will only ever kill you if, one, you are not using a pot, you are not using a health stone, or generally the healer is not prior healing you and prior healing the tank out of pure survival instincts. And that, unfortunately, guys, is up to then you to make sure you survive that pack. Because if the tank's taking a beating, the healer's main job is to keep the tank alive, the tank's main job is to keep ads from hitting you, and vice versa. So if you're then complaining, oh, but my rune killed me, that's really you issue. Like, the healer will help you with that, because I think a lot of healers now know that Enhancement Shamans and Shamans in general use this trinket, so they'll no healers really bothered me, and no healers gone, oh fucking hell Shaman, why are you taking too much damage? It's just like, well, they just kind of know. So again, when it gets to like hectic fights, that third rune and the damage you take is on you, buddy. It's on you. The fourth rune, your mastery is increased. This is what I mean. Mastery is not an issue with Necrolord, sorry, because you've got obviously 120, and then the fourth rune gives you another 120. Shitload of mastery, right? And then your spells and abilities reduce your movement speed by 2% for 15 seconds, stacking up 10 times. Okay, this can get nasty, and you can't really mitigate it. Well, you can with like a Windrush Totem and going into Wolves and using your Spirit Walk, but the only thing I can say is just get out of the way of shit. You should pretty much know, especially if you're doing 10s plus, especially if you're doing 15s and upwards and even into your 20s, you should not be really being hit by any mechanic that an ad can do and you saying, I don't know what killed me there, because you're either not moving or you didn't use a cooldown. That is pretty much end of it. So it's pretty much on you. But yeah, kind of be cautious if you know you have to run somewhere to get out of the way of an ability. Kind of go a little bit early. Not like 5 seconds early, but like maybe a second early before it procs or something like that. You know, again, this is all on you, buddy. You've got to know what you're doing. But then I'm going to go away from that trinket and go back into my stats. Now, these stats are quite nice. Like my crit's probably a bit too high. Like, if I had that crit last season, I'd be like, I need to get rid of some of that crit. But it's fucking good. And then the haste, like last season, I had like nearly 40% haste. However, with the shrouded, with the second Lego, you're just gonna have haste coming out your ears. So pretty much, you can, if you only had 20% haste, you'd be fine. You're fine. If you're looking at this going, fuck, I've only got 15% haste. Firstly, I'd be asking you, what gear are you running, buddy? Because you know, your set bonuses and everything like that, and your base gear and your base weapons really give you, they just fucking throw haste at you. But if you've just been unlucky, or if you're stacking more mastery crit, that's fine. You don't really need to worry about haste, but haste is king. Then your mastery, 53%. That's decent. Last season I had around about 60. That's a lot. I think I had about like 70-80% mastery, so I've dropped a lot of mastery. But because I've gained a lot of crit and a lot of haste and even a shitload more verse, I'm rocking like 15% more verse. I am just naturally doing more damage. Like the more mastery you can get, the better, because it just plays into this build. But if you're rocking round about the 50 to 60 margin, I'd say, well, you're going to be absolute fucking pumping there, mate. And it's same with versatility. If you've got more versatility than me, or even less, we don't really have to worry about verse. It makes us more tanky. We do more damage, but basically, haste mastery is what you need. Now, you want to get these as high as you can. The 4 sets, like, you know, the head, shoulders, knees and toes. Well, head, shoulders, hands and legs. The toes, i.e. boots. You can get whatever. I got the verse mastery. I think I got them in. They were on a drop. Like, there is better boots out there, and when they do drop, then I will replace them. Now, Mechagon rings. These are bis. Well, that's bis because it's 3 or 4 and everything, and I'm dying, so I'm gonna see what I mean. You gotta watch yourself. Your screen flashes at you. This is. I mean, I'm just stood around here, so I'll just lob it. Quick cheeky heal and a totem down. Well, I mean, that's base. I will never replace that, because if you are behind an enemy while you are behind, well, if you damage an enemy while you're behind, you should always be behind the enemy because of this. This is not bis. This is second bis. The bis one is that you gain a stacking haste buff. If you've got that, then you've even got more fucking haste coming out, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful and it's sexy. But I've got the second bis one. Like, you know, you deal 2,000 damage. It is nice. Yeah, I think in a dungeon it works out to be around about 3% of my damage, this, which is nice. Whereas, but the haste one is it's a lot better. It's a lot more juicy. Apart from that, this sims really well because of the amount of versatility on it. But like, if you got like a haste mastery cloak, go for that. This, I just got it in the vault, so I took it because I had no other option. So yeah, and my neck needs replacing because it's got too much versatility. I need the haste mastery neck, or any haste mastery neck, and then I'll be best there. With regards to weapons, there's a lot of people going out there and a lot of guides saying, oh, use your dinar to get this, use this, get this, you want this, blah blah blah, you want this for single target, you want this for AoE. Just make it easy for yourself. Make it easy for yourself. Pretty much any weapon such as that. I mean, I got this from a Fated Heroic because I got it like the first week, and I haven't got any weapon drops since. Any. You basically want to get Key of the Immortal because it's haste crit, but any weapon will pretty much do. Now, in your offhand, this is where there's some things like, you know, the bit of it and missing. You want, where is it? Where is it? Oh, is it? There we go. Crucifixion, Veni Ripper. Fucking that weapon. And you're probably thinking, it gives alright agility, and you know the stamina's nice, but where's the other stats to it? It's okay. It's got an equip bonus, and while you are behind your enemies, their movement is impaired, or they are suffering from loss of control reflex. Your attacks have a high chance to cause them to bleed with 3,720 physical damage over 6 seconds. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Because you can slow them with... you can stun them with a capacitor, sundering, and you've even got this little baby here. And as I said, you should always be behind them. So this little baby is going to be popping off beautifully. I would recommend, unless you are really, really lucky to get it to drop, you will be spending your second dinar on this, because you should be spending your first dinar on your Scars of Eternal Strife, and by first dinar you should have already spent it. And if you have not bought the Scars of a Fractured Strife with your first dinar, then I do apologise. I should have brought this guide out sooner to help you. But I mean, if you've got the weapon first, that's it's pretty much on you. It's like the last season, really, kind of. Who gives a shit? But just to help you, that's what I'm gonna be getting my second dinar on. And I will be upgrading it to the heroic version. If I get lucky to get it in mythic or something like that, that'd be absolutely beautiful. But yeah, quick note: you want to get salvage fusing amplifier as well, guys. Get it as high as you can. 291. It's lovely. It pretty much does 7% of your damage. And I forgot to say, those of you with going back to the Scars of Eternal Strife, I can click it again and it gives me a final rune, and it will increase your critical haste, mastery and versatility are increased by 239 when the final rune explodes for 34,000. You want to be popping this before a big AoE, because it hits it's just not 34,000, it's 34,000 per target. Does a lot of deeps. You know, on a good pull, it can do... I've seen it do about 400k on a gambit pull. When, you know, the tank was like, oh, I'm going to do a big pull. I'm like, okay. Pop my trinket. I'm like, ready to go. It does take 30 seconds to proc. So if you are in a group with comms, it is obviously better, because you can be like, are you going to do a big pull? The tank can be like, yeah, I'm going to do a big pull. And you're like, oh, fucking right, I've popped my trinket, but can you wait 5 seconds, like 10 seconds, just to give you, you know, that little bit of extra cooldown on that thing before. Because there's nothing worse than having a survival hunter in the group, and it has fucking worked on me. Tank's gone big pull, you've popped it, survival hunter's popped everything and fucking killed everything before it explodes. And you're just like, I've just missed out on like 500k damage there, and it is a kick to the bollocks. It's one of them. It takes time to learn when to proc it. It takes time to learn the routes, and it is better with comms. 99.999 slash that 100% of the time it is better with comms, because then you can just talk to your tank on what's he doing, what's he pulling. Because if he's only going to do a 2 pull, then you can be like, well, I can save it for the boss or something like that, you know, like it's totally up to you. But yeah, and with regards to Legos, guys, primal overactuators all the way. It's cookie cutter, nothing's changed. Apart from that, that is everything that I've covered in my little guide here. Apart from that, there's tips and tricks, and it is tab target your little ass off. You can either do it with the tab, or you can do it the clicky method. Doesn't matter. Tab target, lava lash that shit to spread lashing flames, and your damage will go up. I don't really have any logs to show you, which is annoying, because it would be nice if I did some logs kind of beforehand to show you. That would have been nice, but I didn't think ahead, so that's bad on me. But apart from that, guys, that is everything. It's been about like 20 minutes. I did say it was going to be a quick video, and I do apologise, because I did intend for it to be a quick video. But I'm glad you like it. Well, I hope you like it anyway. I hope you find it useful. Like and comment below. It does help. It's not needed, but it does help. So does a cheeky subscribe to the old channel. It's not needed, but it helps. Click that fucking subscribe button. And the like, you know, as well. But anyway, guys, it's always been a pleasure. Keep your eye on my thing, because I'm going to do some more videos this week. I'm going to just bash them out. So, thank you for watching. Average Shaman out. Thank you and goodbye, guys. Like and subscribe.